Seated. Not invisible anymore. There is one of the book here you guys should get a chance to read. Benedita, will you kindly bring everyone in? You can just come with your coffee, please. Don't worry, you can just come in with your coffee. Let's get started. Don't worry, you can bring in your snack, please. Just come with your coffee. I'm kindly requesting everyone to settle. We will have another session for photo, greetings, exchanging cards, networking, and all that. Do we still have some outside, please? Would you mind just remind them to come in. We're about to start. Thank you. Okay, while we're settling, we are both aware of tomorrow, the gala night. If you happen that when you arrived there was a system down, you didn't get your ticket, kindly remember, the system is now up. You can get your ticket for the gala night tomorrow. If you didn't get a chance to get the ticket, kindly, during the break, grab your ticket for the gala night tomorrow. And many, many more surprises for tomorrow. Make sure you dress for the day. Are we all in? Oh no, I still see some individuals walking. We can start. Okay, we start the next session. And before the break, I said this is something very interesting for me. As a journalist, you know your brand matters a lot. Your image, how you present it and how you build it. And I don't think the best person to do that is somebody who has built a brand. But not only a brand. You know, food is very sensitive topic. We both love food. You know, in Africa, there is this joke when people come to visit you and then they leave without eating proper food. I forgot about broches and all that. Proper food, they will joke that we left without our mouth. Loosely translated like that. So you wonder, did they come with their mouths and leave it behind? But it means that they didn't eat something better. Allow me to introduce our next speaker, talking about building a brand, standing out. And I want this to be a little bit interactive. If you have questions, please do ask. She will give you a lot of tips. And also, I remember I put her on a spotlight when she mentioned spilling the tea. Please allow me to bring on stage Ebere Akadire. I call her the Mama Food. What's the name of that? Welcome, my dear.
Thank you very much. And thank you for putting me on the spotlight.
You deserve.
And so I want to start by asking everyone here to raise your hand if you're already doing business in Africa. Beautiful. Good. This side you're not. So raise your hand if you want to do business in Africa. Okay, raise your hand if you want to do business in Africa, but you don't even know what type of business to do in Africa. Good. I have a good audience here. So, maybe you want to do business in Africa, or maybe you're already doing business in Africa and you don't have a very good experience. And because of that, you might say a lot about Africa. I know some people said to me, I started a business in Africa, handed it over to my brother, I didn't get the money back. Have you experienced that? Okay. Yes. And some people are also thinking, okay, even if I want to do business in Africa, what is in it? Why should I? Why should I invest in Africa? One of the ways I have found very useful if you want to invest in any country at all or in Africa is through local partnerships. And one of the things that attract local partnerships is building a standard brand. And today, I want to tell you that I have been able to build a business in Nigeria successfully, and I've also been able to build a business in the Netherlands successfully. And so, first of all, this is me, Ebera Kadiri, and these are my businesses. But that's not the story I want to tell you. It's not about me, it's about you going to do business in Africa, because that's a theme for today. Somebody asked me recently, what are the benefits of doing business in Africa? There are several benefits. And one of the benefits is the population, the youth population. We have a young generation, up to 60% of our youth are below the age of 35. And what does that mean? It means you have a large consumption rate and also a large workforce in Africa. And that's why so many smart companies are hiring labor from Africa. And also, when you think about the natural resources in Africa, there are many. Yes, we can come here and say, theory, but one thing I know is that I have seen a lot of people doing great things in Africa. And so there are natural resources from gold, there are natural resources, diamond, all of these things are in Africa. Who do you think is tapping them? Who? You think they are lying waste? Smart companies, and most of them are European companies. And also, when we talk about the benefits of doing business in Africa, I want you to remember that so many people are becoming middle class, and because of that, their taste is changing. They want something good quality, and so because they have the money to spend, and that's another reason you should do business in Africa. And then the diverse investment opportunities. I heard the speaker here who were talking about tourism. There are so many, from housing, from tourism, from food businesses, tech, health. All of those are major opportunities in Africa. They are not fully tapped. And most of us in this room can become the people who start tapping into those opportunities. But the question is, why is it now? Why is now the best time to invest in Africa? And let me tell you, Africa did not pay me to come and market Africa, right? But I'm telling you from my knowledge, what I know. Investing in Africa now is important for you because never has there been a time when all the governments in Africa are trying to improve the business climate. You see the government reaching out to those of us who are here. Help us. We want to get into technology. We want to build innovation labs. And they are ready. And even I think it's a World Bank index. There's a report. Let me see if I can find it here. It's the World Bank base of doing business index. Consistently is highlighting that African countries are among the top reformers. They are reforming the nation. Yes, I know our leaders can do more, but they also need some of us who have this expertise out here to support them. I also heard about this initiative called the African Continental Free Trade Area. And it aims to create a single market, which means it's going to be offering market to over 1.2 billion people. And it's going to help to facilitate trade, which means if you're already there now in one African country, it will be easier for you to expand into other African countries. And then we also have increasing innovation and entrepreneurship. I don't know if you've heard about Flutterwave. There are so many companies who are Africans doing great businesses in Africa in the tech world, and they have this global prominence. We're hearing about them, a lot of them. But the one I'm most interested in is value creation. Value creation. So I'm the founder of Rise and Lead Women, which is a platform in Netherlands that wants to increase the representation of women in leadership, women sitting in places of decision making, doing real businesses. And it's a very successful platform. I came into the Netherlands 13 years ago. I want to tell you a bit of my story. Before I came into the Netherlands, 2009, 2008, I started my own business in Nigeria. But I was naive. I didn't know so much about business building. So the first business failed. I lost so much money, but then I decided I'm going to learn how to run a business and make it successful. Because if somebody can build a successful business, why can't I do that? So I went to learn. And one of the things I learned is building a brand. So I rebranded that same business, a clothing business. I used to travel a lot to Europe to buy clothes to sell in Africa. That was my first business. And then I rebranded it, and I started selling out. Once I traveled 2 weeks, it's all gone. The power of branding. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Because in 2008, I had this dream to build a restaurant. I didn't want to be bringing things into Africa. I wanted to start using the things in Africa. But that knowledge of building that business helped me to build a restaurant. From the first day we launched that restaurant in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, we started having like 200 customers per day. It was exciting, really, wow, this is cool. Within a month, we were serving 500 people per day. Power of branding. And then I wanted to expand into so many other places. But instead of spending money building too many restaurants, what did I do? I talked about the power of partnerships. I went to so many companies and said, hey, so many of your employees are coming to eat in my restaurant. I don't have enough space anymore. Why don't we use your canteens? Nobody likes to eat in your canteens. I'll bring the food there. And they accepted. Within 7 months, we were in 7 companies, all multinational companies. Power of partnerships. And before then, we started expanding that business to a bigger location, to caterings, and to even bakery. But in 2013, I had to move to the Netherlands with my husband, who is here today. Then he was working for Shell. And of course, family comes first. So I had to leave my business behind, and we came to the Netherlands. On reaching here, I had to start all over again. I didn't know where to start from. Different culture, different people, different climate. Everything was different. I wanted to run back to Nigeria. At the point, my husband wanted me to go back, but my children liked it here. So I stayed back. And I said I was going to build a business. And so it's that same knowledge I used in Nigeria that helped me to start building a Ataro business. When I started this Ataro business, it's not like the Netherlands opened their hand to accept it. Oh, yeah, African brand. No way. It wasn't easy. We faced too many rejections because nobody was talking about African food in the Netherlands. Usually you see African restaurants selling to Africans. And I said, if the Dutch go to Nigeria, do they sell their products to Dutch in Nigeria? Yes or no? No, they sell to everybody. Why can't we build a brand, an African brand that is selling to everybody in the Netherlands? That was a driving force for me. I said I wasn't going to change that mission to see African products on shelves in the Netherlands and within Europe. But it wasn't easy. but I didn't give up. So we started packaging our spices, found partnerships again in Belgium to package spices. And recently, last month, just launched the hot sauce and the jollof sauce. So many of you know jollof, right? Yeah. Now, if you're a busy mom, you can now make jollof rice in 15 minutes. Yes. From Ataro jollof sauce, okay? Now, this is the power of visioning and mission and a story. And these are linked to building a brand. And what I want to share with you today is not just about me and my business. It's about you. It's about the fact that we are here today to encourage people to build businesses in Africa. And if you want to build a business in Africa, personally, I have observed so many differences between running a business in Nigeria and also running here in the Netherlands. There are challenges, yes, but there are also opportunities. The challenges are numerous, but hey, we are humans. We are built to overcome challenges. And so, one of the things I know, if you want to go to Africa to build a business, is through local partnerships. You can't sit here, you don't understand the culture, and you want to build a business in Africa and make it successful. First, you need a brand, a recognizable brand, so people can trust you. And second, and how do you do that? Your story of impact, your why. Why do you want to do this business? So many people go to Africa just to take from Africa, not to make an impact. And that's why their businesses are not successful. Because you can't take and don't give. You can't. You can't do it for too long. So what we do in Ataro, and I saw all the opportunities in Africa and the challenges, one of the challenges I recognize is the fact that we have 60% of the world's arable land, but we are the largest importers of processed food into Africa and into Nigeria in particular. And so I wanted to, does this work? So what I wanted to do was to partner with companies in Africa to train women farmers on packaging, and also so that we can solve the problem of logistics so they can sell their goods. I can't do that. I live here, but I have a partner in Nigeria, and we're looking for more partners. Another problem I noticed was the communication. I want to use Zoom to speak to people in Africa. Because it's not paid, then we don't communicate very easily. And then I saw a company who wanted to invest in that. I said, hey, I'm part of that as well. And we're launching in 3 months. The reason I'm saying all of this is not to brag about anything. It's just to say that we, the diasporans, we are the bridge to solve the problem of Africa. We need to take that responsibility and see ourselves as the bridge builders. If you want to attract people to Africa, you need to change the narrative. Don't talk about, there are so many things we know, but there are also solutions. And if there are businesses who have succeeded in Africa, then you can also succeed in building a business in Africa. If you're here, you're European, and you think you want to build a business in Africa, I want to beg you, let it not be about export of cars, so many, dumping things in Africa. Africa is not a dumping ground. Recently, we heard about Volkswagen. I think they are partnering with a country in Africa to manufacture cars in Africa. You know what that means? It's skills exchange, knowledge exchange. It's a win-win. It's partnership. Africa is no more about aids. It's about partnerships. You want to do business in Africa? Change your mindset about all the negative misconceptions you have already about Africa. The old narratives, they don't work anymore. We are entrepreneurs. We solve problems. We create opportunities. And I believe that if all of us together decide to be the change we want to see, be the leaders that we're talking about. We can invest in Africa, and most importantly, invest in women in Africa. Invest in women because women are usually ignored. Okay? I don't have much time, so let me put it here. Women are usually ignored, but if you see me as a woman telling you I'm building great businesses, of course you want to partner with me. And I tell you, so many women in Africa are building great businesses. And please, let's be the change we want to see. Let's invest in Africa. Let's invest in African women. Let's build a future where everyone thrives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know we have questions, but because we overlap a bit, we will have a session of discussion, which will be open. So we were supposed to have a panel discussion, but I think that session we will flip it a bit and make it open space. So if you have questions for a specific speaker, please keep it, and then we will use that time to answer all the questions. Doc, just put it. And something mentioned about Africa. Everybody's talking about Africa, doing business in Africa. I think the best person to give us that is Dr. Ohens, because he's going to talk to us about doing business in Africa, the political instability, and all the things happening in Africa. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's all nothing. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you very much. I am Joseph Ohens. I live in Bakersfield, California. Evie Zero was my classmate in journalism school. I practiced journalism for so many years and explored law later. I work presently for a healthcare system in the United States where I am senior vice president. I am a lawyer. But before I left Nigeria, before I relocated from Nigeria to the United States, apart from working for other organizations, I also ran my own businesses. So I have a little bit of experience about running businesses in Africa. But I don't want to dwell on what folks have already said, because you've said a lot. I worked on something while I was listening to everybody else, quickly wrote something, and I would like to read it, because I want you to understand my premise. So the African continent is filled with opportunity, regardless of the unique challenges and regulatory frameworks of doing business in Africa. According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, European investors remain by far the largest holders of foreign direct investment stock in Africa, led by the United Kingdom with $60 billion, France, 54 billion, and the Netherlands, 54 billion. The same report shows that foreign direct investment flows to Africa declined by 45 billion in 2022, but that is from 80 billion in 2021. But I think that is attributable to COVID. They accounted for 3.5% of global foreign direct investment. International project finance deals targeting Africa showed a decline of 47% in value. The number of greenfield projects rose by 39% to 766. 6 of the top 15 greenfield investment mega projects, that is those worth more than 10 billion, were announced in 2022, were in Africa. In North Africa, Egypt saw foreign direct investment more than double to 11 billion because of increased cross-border merger and acquisition sales. My Egypt folk there. Greenfield projects, and when I say greenfield projects, I mean projects that are started from scratch, not building on something that is already there. Greenfield projects more than doubled in number to 161. International project finance deals rose in value by 2/3 to $24 billion. Flows to Morocco decreased slightly by 6% to 2.1 billion. In West Africa, where I'm from, Nigeria to be specific, saw foreign direct investment flows turn negative to minus 107 million because of equity divestments. Announced greenfield projects, however, rose by 24% to $2 billion. Flows to Senegal remained flat at 2.6 billion, and foreign direct investment flows to Ghana fell by 39% to 1.5 billion. In East Africa, flows to Ethiopia decreased by 14%, and the country remained the second largest foreign direct investment recipient in the continent. Foreign direct investment to Uganda grew by 39% to 1.5 billion on investment in extractive industries. And foreign direct investment to Tanzania increased by 8% to 1.1 billion. That is attributable to the discovery of oil in Tanzania. In Central Africa, foreign direct investment in the Democratic Republic of Congo remained flat. And in Southern Africa, flows returned to prior levels after an anomalous peak in 2021 caused by a large corporate reconfiguration in South Africa. Foreign direct investment in South Africa was 9 billion, well below 2021 level, but double the average of the last decade. Our attitude to foreigners. When I say our, I mean Africans' attitudes to foreigners. Before the advent of Europeans, we Africans were guided by our traditional values, and topmost there was honesty. It was everyone's duty to protect the family name. You don't want to be dishonest because it will rub on your family. Africans are generally hospitable people who take genuine interest in the lives and experiences of foreigners. So it is commonplace for you to see in Africa where I'll probably look at Elvis and not treat him nicely, but when I see a foreigner, I want to be nice to the person because you want that person to say nice things about their experience while they were with you. So we see ourselves as responsible for our visitors' happiness. And that is where the problem lies. Political instability, insecurity, bribery, and corruption. Africa is notoriously stigmatized by a reputation for political instability, insecurity, bribery, and corruption at all levels of government and the society. One of our speakers already elaborated on those. But these issues are not African. Like one of our speakers said earlier, they are man-made and foreign. Africa was peaceful and had stable political systems of governance, what you call it monarchical governments, or communalism. Africa is rich. As a person, when you are rich and successful, you are very likely to attract a lot of interest from other people who are less endowed with riches. That was and remains the fate of Africa. Africa is the richest continent on earth. She attracts the interest of everyone else. I do not know whether you have observed what happens when two powerful animals fight over food in the presence of a weaker one. Personally, I have seen two giant squirrels battle over a nut with a tiny rat watching with keen interest. As the squirrels fought, the rat snuck in, took the nut, and disappeared into his hole. Political instability in Africa is a direct consequence of abundant wealth. Natural resources which the West seeks is abundant in Africa. And an unstable country provides abundant opportunities for some foreign governments and multinational organizations to thrive. Insecurity in Africa is therefore, to a large extent, a consequence of the modern-day scramble for Africa's wealth in most divisive and most dishonest ways. And then comes corruption. Then comes bribery. I know that most of you here know so much about Shell. You know so much about Halliburton, and you know about their stories in African countries, particularly Nigeria. As much as I acknowledge the prevalence of these ills in African countries, I also know that they are Western inventions. And no country or continent is immune to corruption. Not the United Kingdom, the colonizer of Nigeria and most English-speaking Africa, not France, not Germany, and certainly not the Netherlands, not the United States where I live. In the West, bribery and corruption have more fanciful nomenclatures. They are lobbying, insider trading, kickbacks, and earmarks. But they are bribery and corruption. As Africans, are we proud that these ills have become endemic in our countries? No, we are not. Are our countries redeemable? Yes, they are. Does it surprise you that everything that brought political instability, insecurity, and corruption to African countries actually made many Middle Eastern countries more stable and prosperous? Just look at the United Arab Emirates, Brunei, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, to name a few. I'm not justifying or supporting some things that you will find as unacceptable in those countries, but the difference is their commitment to their culture and traditions, their way of life, regardless of what others think or say. Africa remains the continent with the most opportunity. As a foreign investor, you can make a lot of money in Africa, regardless of the numerous challenges there. Labor is cheap, return on investment is high. However, rather than focusing on maximizing profit at the expense of the people, consider your responsibility as an investor to ensure that the community benefits from your presence. It is called corporate social responsibility in the West. Pay taxes. Do not offer bribes to circumvent rules and regulations. Do not contribute to the political instability of your host country or community. Support good governance. These are things that the West, multinational companies, do not do in Africa. They do the opposite. So when we talk about political instability, we talk about corruption, we talk about bribery and corruption, insecurity. Those are things, those are the tools that foreign governments, foreign institutions, multinational companies would take to Africa to be able to dominate Africa. Colonialism is no longer acceptable world over, but these sharp business practices, they consider them smart ways of earning money from Africa. As Africans who have lived and thrived outside of the continent, we have a role to play in reorienting our people back home, in reorienting our business partners here, in reorienting ourselves so that we can also participate in governance. Take good governance back home to your countries. As a journalist who was also involved in pro-democracy crusades in Nigeria, I know it is difficult, but it is not impossible. So I want to leave you with that because as much as we allow the West to tag us with these ills, that we are politically unstable, we are not secure, a secure continent, and that bribery and corruption is very pervasive, I think we should take it as a challenge to turn the tide, and ensure that Africa is able to combat these ills, beginning from here back to our various countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you very much, Doc. I'll request you to have a seat here because we were planning to have a panel of discussion. But I just want to open it for now for questions. If you have a question to any of the prior speakers or any of the speaker who is here now, the floor is open. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to thank our sister from Ontario Food. This question is for you. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Actually, my question is, you talk about partnership in Nigeria or whatever when it comes to starting a business, right? And what are the criteria or the strategies that you can use to actually select a good partnership, in your opinion?
Thank you for the question. Let me stand up to respect it. So I have been involved in several partnerships. So it always depends on the business you're into. So for me, I have partnered with companies in Europe to package my products, right? Because I don't have the resources to kind of hire too many people to build a factory. And usually what people look out in partnership is, can we trust you? That's number one. And that's why I keep saying build a brand, make sure you have a website, be on social media, because they're going to check about you, okay? Can we trust you? And can I associate my brand with this brand? And that comes to the look and feel of your business. You have to treat your website as when somebody walks into your business. So those are the things first, second. And of course, relationships. It's easier to have a partnership with somebody who you already have a relationship with. So try to know them very well so that when you approach them, they know that you know them and there's a connection, okay? So it depends on the type of partnership you want to run. Okay. Yeah, does that help?
Yes, okay, thank you. And for our brother from California, thank you so much for a detailed presentation. Thank you very much. My question is when it comes to the issue of Africa or Nigeria in general, for example, the oil was there years back before they came and tell us we have oil. The things we had were there. They came in, they tell us that we had these things. We didn't do anything with things we had. What do you think is possible for us, because we also need to look at ourselves.
Oh, no, he didn't finish the question. Sorry, just the other mic to, sorry.
Okay, thank you. So my question is, what do you think we can do from our perspective? Because it's easier to point fingers somewhere without taking responsibility. What is our own responsibilities as Africans? What can we do to manage these things together? Thank you.
Thank you. I think the first thing is to ensure that honest people, we elect honest people to serve us. Unfortunately, most African countries don't get the best of them to be their presidents, to be their leaders. And I mean, I don't have to mention countries, but it's prevalent all over Africa. Again, that is something that is orchestrated by multinational companies. I don't know whether you understand how those companies work in African countries. They are very much involved in the economy as well as political lives of those countries. If you are a very honest person, if you are a straightforward person that would want to govern for the betterment of your people, you are most likely going to be rubbished by the multinational companies, by their governments back home, who actually are the ones who send people to do all of those things there. But we, as a people, if we can come together and overcome our differences, ethnic differences, if we're able to overcome all of that and come together as a team, we'll be able to withstand foreign interventions in Africa. That is one. Then the other thing is, those of us who have seen things here, we live here, I think we should advocate for good governance back at home. We should also be willing to expose here the governments as well as the companies that do those things against us. If we can expose them, I think they will be shamed such that they will let our people be and allow us to elect those who will really serve us. So that's a way to managing your resources. If you can be in charge, if you have the authority to be in charge, then you will manage it to your own benefit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. There's another question over there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. My name is Modika Ba from Gambia. I have a question for the lady from Ataro Foods. With regards to the partnership we are talking about, it's very important here because I have been in Gambia, I've returned to Gambia for the past 3 years, trying to get this partnership we are talking about, but I found it very, 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 very difficult. First, to identify with who are you going to do with what. It's very, very difficult to identify this person because of what Mr. Joseph was talking, whether this is a person who we could trust. My experience, directly to the point, we have a smart security system business that I have invested in Gambia 3 years now. We're working with digital alarm system and then security CCTV and doing GPS tracking system. And we invest in the security sector. I met a potential partner, explained all that I wanted to do for the next 5 years, only for this person to listen to what I want to do. We started the partnership. It lasted for only 90 days. Why? He wanted to turn around everything at his best interest, and I refused and withdraw from the partnership. I tried. Right now, as I'm talking to you, I am talking to several potential partners, big companies. You will knock a particular door for 100 times before you get what you want from them. Like, for example, our idea now was to integrate insurance policy within our security system, so that where you have the alarm, you have the security covering, like how we do it here. I've been talking to security companies for the past 1 year. One day, I didn't say I'm discouraged, but one day I said, you know what? Let me go back to where I was and see if these partners are here. I am working with so many Spanish companies, doing business with them in Gambia, and everything's going smoothly, but I hardly find a local partner who understands what I want to do and is ready to do something with me. So this is why here with one word.
Just to jump and maybe to save time, is your question based on finding local partners or partners?
I'm trying to share my experience with regards to what getting a local partner in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to add my experience to that to share it with the general public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is I wanted to add to that. Thank you very much.
Okay. No, there were same question or on a different one?
You can please.
Yes, I want to say something about investment women.
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Mustafa Hadoud, Assistant of Minister of Youth and Sports in my country.
Yeah.
Ms. Abir, invest in women. I am a head coach for national team female basketball. I started with them 2019. I was a senior coach for senior team men. And 2019, we moved to girls, to females, to start to care about them. And we won African Championship 2020, and we qualified to World Cup in Budapest, Hungary. Okay. So when we invest in women, we can lead Africa country is a greatest country. Now basketball in Africa is number one, like Angola, South Sudan. We have to care about women and invest in women, because in women we can qualify to quarterfinal in World Cup.
Yeah.
It's too hard for men. So
A challenge to the men in the house. You need, those who have my height, please start it. Okay, so let me get it right. I think we need not to confuse. So are you supporting that we can invest in women in football or in sports in general?
yes, we can take the lead with women.
With women
It's
first.
more easier than
Yeah.
men. You
Okay.
understand?
Okay. Okay. Challenge to the women in the house. Thank you very much. Just Mike to answer the question of finding partners and how to find the right local partner. How did it work for you? Maybe just share your experience on that.
Okay. So, if I may understand, do you live in that country and you're looking for partners in that country? Right? So, for me, partnership is relationships. That's it. You're here in this room. You've already shared what you do. Some people who are interested are going to come to you and say, hey, tell me more about it. And you should be able to be clear about what you want in your conversation. So first of all, use the people you know. And what I wanted to say about the person that pulled out, partnership requires contracts, solid ones. It's the ones that will make it impossible for them to pull out like that, because it's your intellectual property that probably you've stolen it. So you should make sure you have a solid contract next time, okay? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, just legal aspect of it. Also, when we talk about branding, package your product, okay? So businesses will see, why am I going into this partnership? What am I going to gain? And why should I be your partner? So make sure you package it well. I know sometimes communication become a problem, how to package our information and going there. And also involve legal experts when you are doing such businesses. Okay, there. Can we have a mic there, please? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning or afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay, I'm Lihi. I'm from the Caribbean. I also have property in Nigeria. I got 20 acres land. And this one came directly from the king. So no kind of koni way. But you know what is sad? You have to prepare to suffer loss. The amount of money I sent, 100 palm trees. I want 200 cassava. I send money for all. They call them cash fruits. I send money for all. The time me prepare the palm tree is going to take 2-3 years. I prepare for all of that. I just pour in money, send in money. What happened? I come to find out, oh, do you know all your crops is dead? I said, dead how? Nah, no rain, no, no rain, no, cannot help. Am I God? All of that story. I told Africans already, the word sorry, I do not want to hear. I do not deal with sorry. Because, African put all that taste on sorry. Because they are sorry today for this. Tomorrow, they do the same thing again, tell you sorry. You understand? So that makes sorry. I self also is married with a Yoruba man. He also with sorry. I tell you, please, if you want this marriage to stand, do not come with sorry.
I think she want to answer you, but Doc.
You know what? You know why?
You mentioned something about mindset. Would you please just
You know
share
what
that?
I tell him?
Yeah.
I say you believe in God. What did God say in the Bible? What come from the mouth, come from the heart. So if it wasn't settled in the heart, it will not come through the mouth. I say, my husband, it comes first through your eyes. Then it settles in your brain. And when it's settled in your brain, you have two options. You throw it out, or you keep it.
Yeah.
And once you keep it, it go to your heart. Once it go to the heart, it come to action. So my husband, please, before you tell me sorry, think once, think twice, before you utter it. Nowadays, he want to talk. He said, no, let me keep quiet. So on the other side, you have to prepare. Besides in Nigeria, also I have place in Gambia. I'm all over. I also have place in Cameroon, but I also have place in Gambia. I'm busy building my house now in Gambia.
Yeah.
That one, hey, Africans, oh, stop it. You talk about Nigeria 419. You know what we come to realize? The whole continent is 419. Oh. One have it higher and one have it smaller.
Thank you,
Even the simple man is 419. Thank you.
You want to add to that?
Yeah, just give her to add to it. And
Madam, sorry, thank you so much. You know, I'm a Nigerian, and I don't want people to have this impression about us, okay? When you're doing business, you're dealing with a king. Do you know that king? Your personal friend? No. Okay. That's the thing. You know, when I do business in Nigeria, I work with established businesses, the ones that I can trace. And you can go to Chamber of Commerce and report, you know, if they steal from you. So what I will advise everybody, if you want to do business in Africa, please deal with established businesses that you can trace, you know, not just about family. It's about doing business with a business person, having a standard contract, having a gentleman's agreement written down, and then follow up with anytime there's a breach, so they know you're a serious business person. Thank you very much.
I think one thing coming out very clear is that sometimes we prefer as Africans to do things the way they say the African way. There is no African way. It's either you do it right way, whereby legally it's done. If you do it with friends or family, then sometimes that one is just a throwaway because you can't hold them accountable. So especially when it's come to business, do it with somebody you can hold accountable. I don't know, Doc, whether you want to talk about mindset a bit, because I think it's more about our mindset. We tend to think doing business, but we don't change our mindset. We deal with families, we deal with brothers, and maybe sometimes that one is just a token you give. But can we move away from tokenism? Can we have the microphone, please?
Lunch is ready, by the way.
Okay.
I don't have much to add to what others have said about it, other than to say, when you go into some investments like what you described, I think you should look at yourself and ask yourself whether you are doing the right thing and whether you actually have a good hold on what you are doing. You live in the Caribbean and you are developing a land in Nigeria, planting cash crops, and you left it in the hands of people without a clear indication of what you want, how it's being done. I think if you wanted to do that, you should go to Nigeria and be there for as much as 3 months and get the farm planted. You see what is on ground. You put people responsible for the farm, maybe employed by you, paid by you, and you know exactly what is going on. I think doing business on just trust, say, oh, I send the money there, it's not the right way of thinking. That is all I can say. And the whole of Africa is not 419. I've lived in the United States going to 20 years. I'll tell you that every day I receive calls from Americans who want to 419 me. You know, so corruption exists everywhere. So I think what you call yourself sticks with you. If you call yourself 419 as an African, as a black person, the white man, the West, will look at you as 419. There is corruption everywhere. Everywhere. Even in this country, there is corruption everywhere. Do not stigmatize yourself with that. there is corruption everywhere. We should not, it's not just in Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. I think lunch is ready. Oh, okay. There were questions for the tourism. Who had the question? Who had the question about tourism in Africa before we break for lunch? Okay, maybe the stomach is saying, should I ask or should I go fast? Okay, the stomach has it. So we take a lunch break. How many minutes? Yeah, until 1. So I think I was requested that we all come here, take a group photo first. Okay? Before now.
Picture,
Yeah.
please make sure that everybody goes back to the front desk for the payment. So maybe you can explain how
so
it
the
works.
system is working now.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 things. We take a group photo before you leave. And then number 2, the system was down. Now it's up, it's working. So we can pass by the reception and do the necessary. Then number 3, we have more topics to talk about after lunch. So my piece of advice, please don't take a lot. Just take small, because you might end up dozing off and you will not get the the gist of the evening, the gist of the afternoon. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you ready? Or are you ready for the group photo? Yeah, so we just walk here. All of us take a group photo, please.
Stand here.
Yeah, some can be on the podium up, some can be depending on. Yeah? We can, I think you can just have a wide one. One go. Okay. Yeah, we. Let's just move close, sir. Just move close this side. We just move close. Let's everyone just move. Move this side. Yeah, it's close and. Oh, no. You. Yeah, not on one side. Let's. There is.
Okay, are you not joining the pictures? Let me see. You know the lady at the back? Yes, with the white.
Yeah, just.
Yes, sit her.
Just sit. We can. Some of us can even squat. It's just a minute. Yeah, just sit, ma'am. Just pick a.
Yeah,
pick a
they
chair.
can even sit. Hello,
Yeah.
my lady from Germany. Please, do you have a seat there? You said you can sit.
Philip, I think you can just come here.
Yes.
Just go. Okay, I think we're good to go. Just one wide.
Somebody have to take pictures.
You want me to help take a picture from above?
Okay, we're good to go.
Just take it from here.
Very cool. Okay, wow, beautiful. Big smile, please. 1, 2, 3. Last one, I will go upstairs and
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm just. I'm just trying to to smile.
How are you? Blessing. Long time. Nice to see you. Eh?
Do we have our number? Do we have phone number? No, but we have. Okay, let's take a photo so I can talk to you about it.
For foreigners to really become invisible.
Yeah, it's just the video. So because
No, there is a presentation.
okay, check your figure. I see. Bridging the gap. Okay, this one.
Ja, mensen kunnen hier zitten. Misschien kunnen jullie doorgeven dat ze gewoon hier mogen eten. Ja, maar die hebben het, maar de meesten willen waarschijnlijk. Oké, ze willen gewoon netwerken. Ja, precies. Nee, helemaal goed. And you can use the clicker. I'll tell him that because of technical issues, he cannot play the video.
Yeah, no, you can't play the video.
Is this the presentation?
Yeah, it's not.
You need to open it.
No, it's not on a PowerPoint. It's a PDF.
But you can also only show the first slide. You don't know how to do it?
No, it's that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's just a. It's it's a PDF. You see, it's not a.
Yeah, but then you can make it larger or not.
No, even if I make it larger, then I need to change the whole thing. You see, I will see the yeah.
Call him then,
Because
how are we gonna go to the
I can hide sidebars like that.
Yeah, that is better.
But now the challenge is that I can't go to the next page. You see. So.
Yeah, that's okay. Who's having the sound? Oh, that is he's filming.
I was thinking, how do we upload right away the picture for
On
this first session? Our service.
we can because I have internet. We just log in and upload them immediately. How are you doing? Long time, I know.
Sure.
What happened? Are you just around or
I'm
no?
not around.
Where have you been?
You are just in Utrecht by that Antonio Sica house.
I'm
You are
still there.
Hiding there.
I'm still hiding there. I've never moved.
Yeah.
Let me show what I have here.
Mag ik jou helpen?
Ja, dit is de soundkabel.
Oh, daar. Mag ik dingen probeer om te doen en dan kijken.
Dit is de soundkabel.
Ja,
En die moet je dan rechtstreeks bij jou aansluiten, denk ik.
wacht daar.
Maar ze hebben hier ook alles weer uitgetrokken, zie ik. Daar ben ik niet blij mee. Alles ligt hier weer uit, weet je wel.
Oh ja, ik heb nu daar. Kan je? Oh. Hij is weg. Yeah, yeah, then we can load. No, he brought it here, and I'm playing the video, so I wanted to test there if
You have SD card
slot. Yes, I have just to.
you want to upload it to
Yeah, I think I have.
tomorrow. We'll have to come with an extension card.
No,
Yes.
you can just upload it
So
there.
this
there.
can go straight at the first session of the second session starts at 3, right?
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
3, okay. So that's
Okay.
fine. So people can see. I will also upload also on my page also after. So I think it's better I will be giving you all the stuff. So later, do you have hard drive? Share me hard drive, phone. So anything to man here, immediately it goes straight to you guys. Come off,
No, I have. We have a lot of.
space. There is a space, right?
We have a lot of. I just need to take a few things off the.
I will eat. Only no. Ship out of here. Oh, my fisuri, so I'll transfer it for you. How many gig do you have there? Okay, I'll check it. I just upload it so the voice connection. Yeah, that one, yeah.
No, is it
Yeah,
this?
that's outside, yeah.
Okay.
That's outside, that is the beginning. And if you can put it on slide also later
Yeah.
from the computer, so they can see it also on the screen.
Yeah.
So you share screen with this guy, yeah?
Voice. Yeah. 2023.
Almost 400 pictures just now.
1 gigabyte.
One, yeah, but they are very good quality pictures. High resolution. So if you upload, so there's, I try my best to edit it on my hand. What is not good, to take it out. So I think most of it are good.
I'll check then and you just see a few.
So you please check the last number so that by the time you want to take the second part.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can tell you the last photo will be 6157.
Okay.
So. Okay, so we have this.
Can you jet
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So that one is sorted.
Have you uploaded it? Because we want us to be uploading it.
Oh, I upload. I need to log into. Yeah, I need to log into his.
Can you see that people are watching it online?
Yeah, there. It was there. How long is the?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit busy, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's no. I mean, this is the
What you
$1
brought
million
up,
questions that you are asking, right?
his
And I
presentation,
think there's no easy solution or no.
there is a lot you can get out of there.
Yeah, that's the.
I don't know if there is another possibility of this example of panel again, but I don't see it in the program. But
build their businesses.
we'll be missing a lot if we do not touch his
Yeah, I want to see how to play around with things, and then yeah, we will have him. We will have a panel.
Because what you brought up from his white person, European, is good to see what they can do
Not only to do the first
and not
step,
we.
but also,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, how can they also?
Bring it into discussion.
True.
But I would like to have
One thing is to do the
a
fish
space of introduction in it.
but if you want to grow your business,
Very true.
you require education.
Yeah, I.
I got you on camera.
No way. No. Huh. Okay.